Hi guys, I hope everybody had a really great Christmas and a really great New Year's. We are going to start off this semester with the beatitudes. Now, the beatitudes are basically the path to happiness as given to us by Jesus. When you read these, they don't make any sense. They are very difficult. So what I want your writing prompt to be this week is I want you to read Matthew 5, 1 through 12. And I want you to tell me what you thought it meant when you read it versus what you think it means now that I've talked to you about it. So, and I'm having I don't know, my hair is really big today and it's bothering me. So if you see me messing with my hair, it's because I'm looking at myself in a camera and anyway, having a moment. Okay, so Matthew 5, 1 through 12, the Beatitudes. Seeing the crowds, he went up on the mountain, and when he sat down, his disciples came to him, and he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when men revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you, falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven, for so men persecuted the prophets who were before you. All right, so easy peasy, right? Like path to happiness according to Jesus. They are not easy peasy lemon squeezy. They are hard lemon hard according to me. So anyway, okay. So looking at my computer. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Theirs is the kingdom. What does that mean? What does it mean to be poor in spirit? So this is what it means to be poor in spirit. If you don't know them already, there are the 7 deadly sins, basically the sins that destroy you. It's like sloth, which basically means you're so overly lazy that you can't take care of yourself, gluttony, so on and so forth. Actually, the most deadly of sins is pride. And the reason that pride is the deadliest sin is because it is fully focusing on yourself inward. Now, this does not mean that you cannot take care of yourself. That's not what this is saying, but there is a huge difference between pride and taking care of yourself. So this first one, blessed are the poor in spirit. What poor in spirit means is that your ego is not your leader. Okay, example. Now, if, let's say that your best friend, or anybody for that matter, say that you're involved in sports, like swimming, and your friend is also involved in swimming. They get a scholarship that you wanted, but you didn't get. How do you feel? Are you jealous? Are you angry? Do you have the ability to be happy for that person? That's what we're talking about when we're talking about being poor in spirit. Being poor in spirit means that you can recognize in yourself, you're not the center of the universe, okay? And you can be happy for other people when good things happen to them, even though they didn't happen to you. So that's hard. And I want you guys to keep in mind too, I'm telling you these beatitudes. I think that often youth ministers, priests, people like that, we get put on this pedestal to where people think we have it all figured out and we behave properly. That is not the case at all. I can tell you every single one of these things I struggle with, okay? So that's what it means to be poor in spirit. You're not focused on yourself. You are not the main character in this play, okay? And everybody else is a supporting character. You are not focused and living out of your ego. All right, the second one. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Another doozy, okay? Blessed are those who mourn. Now, the older you get, the more you are going to figure out how suffering actually leads you to God. I want you to think for a moment, when do you call out to God the most? Is it when everything's going right, or everything's just kind of like, lukewarm, no complaints here, nothing exciting, nothing awful? Or do you call out to God in your suffering? Most people would say they turn to God the most when they are suffering. This is basically what that's looking at. So when you When you're secure, when everything around you is good, like if your home life is safe, you have plenty of money to survive, school is going okay, there's no conflicts, we really do not turn to God and ask God to participate in our regular life. Like, everything's fine, everything's good, I'm happy, I have friends, my family's doing fine. We don't usually call on God then. It's usually when crap hits the fan and we are mourning or we're deeply upset that we call out to God. Okay, so that's the first part of this one. The other aspect of it is everyone in the world is not happy at the same time. So if you are practicing the kind of love that God wants us to practice, if you are participating in other people's lives in this very authentically loving way, if they are suffering, you are also going to enter into that suffering with them. That does not mean that if, your friend's dog dies, that you make it about you. Like, oh my gosh, this dog is dead, I'm so upset. What it means is you're empathetic. You understand that someone is suffering. You participate in that suffering by being with them, and you allow them to grieve. A lot of people, that's kind of the other flip side of it. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten annoyed with somebody because they kept focusing on the same issue over and over and over again and exhausting it. Sometimes that's what it means to sit with people who are mourning and sit in people suffering with them, is you have to let them, even if it annoys you, okay? All right, number 3, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. So first off, what does meek mean? A lot of people would translate that to weakness, but it is a mistake to view people who are meek as weak. What meekness means is something that is also intertwined with the beatitudes that have come before this. Meekness means that you're not angered easily, you're not offended easily, you don't have a quick negative reaction. For example, if someone says something to you, I don't know, like, girls get this a lot. Like, if we have a day that we don't wear makeup, a lot of people will come up and be like, you look sick, are you tired? Reacting in a not meek way would be like, I'm just not wearing makeup, you're stupid, blah, 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 why are you such a jerk? Or snapping at somebody. Or if your mom comes up to you and is like, hey, I told you couldn't go out until you empty the dishwasher. I don't have time to, isn't that your job to empty the dishwasher? Blah, blah, blah. You get what I'm saying, like immediate quick reaction. That is not being meek. Meekness is thoughtfulness, sitting with your thoughts before you say stuff, allowing yourself to not get easily upset. I will tell you that the older you get, if you're one of those people that get set off immediately, you're gonna have a very frustrating life, because I can tell you, like, just doesn't work out for you. Anyway, so that's what meekness means. So blessed are those who hunger and thirst for what is right. They will be satisfied. I think this one actually says it different in mine. It says, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. We need to understand something about the word righteousness. Righteousness it's used all throughout the Bible, and righteousness is confusing because it kind of feels like, blessed are those who are correct, or blessed are those who are like better than everybody else. That's kind of like what we think of when we read righteousness. What righteousness means is right relationship with God. So when we read, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. What this means in English is, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for a right relationship with God. Now, this one is also difficult and confusing, just like the rest of them. So what is right relationship with God? We have to first off, like, really analyze, like, what do we think? What do we think God is? What do we think God does? If we are thinking, God is a magician who makes all my problems better, and if I'm gonna pray that he makes so-and-so quit acting like a turd, or if he makes this go my way, or if he helps me get an A on a test even though I didn't study, that's not right relationship with God. You have to look at healthy relationships most often in your human life to understand what it means to have a right relationship with God. Now, if you look to your parents only as a source of money and people to meet your basic needs, but you don't sit with them and love them and just learn from them, enjoy their company, you are not in right relationship with your parents. Now, a little caveat to that. I understand that we don't all have perfect parents. Some of our parents are not very awesome. And so that's, you know, take this with a grain of salt. But if you think about people who are important in your life, there's so much more to that relationship than you asking them to do things for you. So if you are only turning to God and being like, do this for me, heal this person, help me do this, help me do that, that is not right relationship with God. Right relationship with anybody is being together and participating in each other's lives. So right relationship for God, if you are hunger and thirsting for the right relationship with God, you are being together, okay? We hear in the Bible that we're supposed to pray constantly and unceasingly. What the heck does that look like? It means inviting God to be a piece of your life. You're inviting him into absolutely everything, your suffering, your happy moments. And it's as easy as just saying, God, please be with me. Okay, so there's that one. All right, the next one, blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. This is kind of easier to understand. If you show mercy, you will be shown mercy. This is actually something that we pray in the Our Father that a lot of people tend to overlook. The line of the Our Father where we say, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. In scripture, it says, God, forgive us our debts as we forgive those in debt to us. What we're seeing here with blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy, is, you know, God, give to me what I give to other people. This is also something that I will tell you, if God's going to give me what I give to others, I don't know that I'm 100% excited about that, because while I can give myself to some people, there are other people in my life that I have a very difficult time with, and I am not very authentically loving. Just putting it out there, okay? But again, that one's a little bit easier to understand. So the next one, blessed are the pure of heart, they shall see God. So what is something that is pure? If you picture a glass of water that is crystal clear, that's going to be our example for pure. Now imagine dropping in it a couple of drops of black ink. It changes the water. It's no longer pure water. So when we think of somebody who's pure of heart, that means that their heart is not monopolized with things other than God. Again, super difficult, okay? This isn't something that I'm a master at. So how can we understand this? I should have thought this out a little bit better before I started recording a video, but you guys just enjoy watching me flounder. So what does it mean to have a heart that only has God in it? That means that we have a heart that doesn't worship other things. You do not have a heart that desires to be better than other people. You do not have a heart that desires money. You do not have a heart that desires winning. This one's the big one, especially for high schoolers, because we basically are saying, like, you have to win, you have to win, you have to win. You have to beat everybody else out in your class if you're going to go to college. You have to beat everybody on these ACT scores. You have to beat everybody in these sports activities. You have to beat everybody in these student council races. We are programming you guys to be competitive winners. And so when we say, basically, don't let your heart have idols, those idols being yourself winning or money or popularity, all of those things, though, that means that your heart is diluted with things other than God. So what does it mean to have a pure heart? That means we are not focused solely on ourselves. Again, it is okay to take care of your own needs. You have to do that. But we give. We take our health when we're healthy on the inside, and we're able to pour that out for other people. And that's something, again, to focus on, because if you yourself are not healthy, if you yourself are in a depression or an anxiety, it's a lot more difficult to give yourself. So that's a whole other ball game. But essentially, we are not worshiping anything else other than God internally, okay? All right, so blessed are the peacemakers, they shall be called children of God. A peacemaker is someone who does not cause division. This means you don't gossip about other people or try to. This is actually a term, gaslighting. So let's say that you and one other person get in a fight, okay? We fight. Then you run off and you tell a bunch of other people, like, yeah, he did this, what a jerk, he sucks, we don't like him. And everyone else is like, yeah. You have caused division now. Maybe you were right. Maybe you were telling these people the truth about what this person did, but you caused division. Okay, let's look at Christians in general, Catholics, Baptists, Protestants, whoever you want to pull in here. When you get a mixed number of Christians in a room, everyone is battling over who is right. Who does God love more? Who has it all figured out? That causes division. So when you're met with a religious argument, sometimes the best thing you can do is just say, I can tell that you are very on fire for God and for the Lord, and I know He loves that about you. Walk away. Okay, that's being a peacemaker. All right, the final one. Blessed are those who are persecuted for the sake of what is right. Again, this righteousness thing. Blessed are those who are persecuted for the sake of a right relationship with God. Growing up, you guys are going to be met with a lot of alternative lifestyles. You're going to be met with a lot of opportunities to do things that your conscience is going to tell you don't do this. Okay, this is not going to benefit, give me a right relationship with God. You've got to resist that, and it's not going to be popular. So what does that mean? Like, for example, for me, it was, I can't skip going to church on Sunday. Even though all of my friends are having this big party, I would still get up and I would go to church. Okay, that's one of the small ones, but there are so many other examples that I know you guys already know in your heart of what people are doing in your friend groups that you're like, this is not right. Okay, and if you go against the grain, you're probably going to get some crap for it. So again, your writing prompt is, I want you to tell me your understanding of these beatitudes when you read them, when we read them first and alone, versus how you understand them now. Doesn't have to be a crazy long response, but just let me know that you understood what we were talking about. Anyway, so this next semester, be on top of your video responses, and we are in the home stretch. You're gonna have 12 videos. We're done for the year, and yay. But again, if you guys need anything or have any questions, please email me. My cell phone number is on my little like sign off thing at the bottom of my email. So if you guys need anything, just text me. If you are a second semester person, you got to make sure you attend second year confirmation student. Make sure that if you didn't attend the November retreat, that you're going to attend this February retreat. So thinking about all of you, praying for all of you. I hope that the second semester goes great for all of you too. Bye.